my son. That's my only son.
At some point, he got to go.
Never no time.
I mean, at some point,
never no time. Never no time.
So all the choices is family, Christian.
No, you talking about you grown and you gotta go somewhere. I told him you only saying you ain't going no damn where. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I be going to walk through the house naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what
No, if anything, you can go, not him. How about that?
When I got the bills in here, you gonna tell me where I can go?
The thing is, like, why do I got this? My mama's house. Like, why do I got to leave my mama house?
Period.
Man, you damn near 40 years old. Damn near it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29 now.
Well, that's pretty 10
But
years
you know
away.
what? When I met you was living with your mama.
Man, please. I was in and out. Come
you
on,
was
man.
living with your mama.
I was only 22 years old.
Now you gonna tell me because he 29.
I ain't getting up. I'm not getting up.
Man, he has to go.
I'm not going nowhere.
He has to go.
Well, you ain't gotta go nowhere.
You know what? Damn, they ain't gonna pay no bills either. Damn it. Now, how you feel about that? You don't want him to go? I won't pay the bills.
But he continue to pay.
He got to go, man. It's too much. See, we arguing and stuff about stuff.
At the end of the day, all you gotta do is tell me to help. I ain't saying nothing. Like,
man, you a grown ass man. You supposed to know man, garbage overfill. You supposed to know to take that outside. Come on, man.
That's my son. That's my only son.
That's some.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of different opinions, but I guess where do you want to start the conversation at?
Oh no, I love to start it wherever y'all want to
start.
Because it sounds like I hope that somebody got some defense for bruh.
So I guess there's a bunch of different things to kind of break down.
Mm-hmm.
I think to start, I guess maybe I'll go from where it started. I mean, not where it ended at and go backwards. Obviously, he sounds like he's 29. If you're living in any space, you should, especially if you're not like paying anything, but even when you are, there is a shared responsibility to like general things that you should do.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like he's talking about like he's not doing anything at all in general. And I think that's wrong on that guy's behalf. I think that there is now when we get into like the stepdad and the stepmom's conversation, I think it's a really interesting dynamic, and I'm pushing back on like him in that conversation, specifically in this idea of like breaking the generational curses that we have inside the Black community. That's like pretty much
I'm not going.
And that's cool, and you can like fully explain your piece, but of that whole, you know what I mean, kick your kid out at 18 because of
he's
like
29 though.
Oh, and
that's 10 more years.
Okay, and that's cool, and all that's cool. But like I know from firsthand experience, like I've had a brother kicked out at 18 and end up in jail for 5-6 years because of having to literally fend for himself. And I think that with the right structure and the right means, I don't believe in abandoning your kid. Should there be some structure? Should he be pitching in? Sure. Should there be a plan for him to leave? Sure. It doesn't sound like they set that up, and that's kind of like I put that on the fault of all of them. But in general, like I have to hear more of the backstory to just be like, cuz got to get the fuck out. I think that again, yeah, I don't believe inside that old generational curse because I've seen it. Not even with just like my people, but with like multiple people. And the reality is that all other cultures don't do that shit. This is a Black thing, and that's the sad part about it. Like you, like all them goddamn Kardashians. If we're being real, and this is like a far reach of an example. They all live in the same fucking house to this day. Like they got like a big ass complex. You go and look at like. Them people in the country, they got land. They pretty much got a big plot of land, and they all got like different little spots.
That's
in
the reason you buy a big ass house,
right?
But
and then you have multi-generational houses that exist as well.
House.
But go like I said, I think that's a Black generational curse that I don't know where the fuck we got it, but I don't agree. Real.
Okay, so was 29. Bro was 29. So you was talking about 18, and I 100% agree that kicking your kids because you at 18, you're still a child. You don't know nothing at 18. Around that mid-20s area is when you know things should start kind of clicking. And then at what point? First off, it's totally disrespectful for you as a grown man at 30 years old to be waiting for somebody to ask you to help. Bro, he needs to get the fuck out. Then on top of that, the stepdad is the one paying the bills, all of the bills in the crib. Then you ain't taking out no trash. You know what I mean? I'm imagining if you ain't taking out trash, you damn sure ain't cutting no grass. You ain't doing anything. You in your rooms playing video games. That it is a generational curse that needs to be broken at 18, but at 29, this man is being utmost. This is the utmost disrespectful, and his mother should be ashamed of herself for hindering his growth that much. Because at 29, you're way too late to be trying to figure out what the bills and all this stuff. These adulting, you're starting off trying to learn it way too late. Way too late. She literally is doing a disservice to this man by letting him stay as long as she's let him stay. There's a point of being starting to figure it out that has to happen. I do agree. At 18, you don't know anything.
But see, okay, and here's my thing. When it comes to if we talk about generational wealth, and when it comes to Black people and how we relate to our understanding of generational wealth, white people don't really have that problem because if you buy the big ass house to be able to for the family and for it to stay in the family. So you kicking your son out and teaching them how is that beneficial?
I've actually seen it, right? So
the family business and you buy this man, say you buy $1 million house.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they ain't $1 million house or anything close to it, but go ahead.
But exactly, and I guess that's the issue. Is because the idea of kicking your kid out and him learning it's a survival mindset. It comes from we don't want to continue to provide for this person at this age because it's fucking hard to provide for this person.
The thing
if
is
you're
that
coming from substance, if you're not a scarcity mindset, it's stay as long as you need. And I do have another issue, and I'll say this: the step parent aspect of it. That's where we got it. I think that makes it tougher to have that generational wealth mindset because it's you end up passing down your wealth to.
Yeah, that was one of the other little dynamics in it.
That's one of the comments
to your. So as a guy, you have to be careful of marrying. If you're looking to build with somebody and she has a child and y'all don't have any other kids of your own.
So you're telling me, bro, either one of y'all
it's
are telling me
pass that down to somebody that's not your blood.
And I'm gonna make two things.
But he
I'm gonna ask a question as well. I'm gonna ask a question.
That's the interesting thing.
And that makes it weird.
Did she pay for it? Like she owns the house?
It sounds like she owns the house, but he pays the bills. That's what
we don't know that part because it sounds like he's the breadwinner and he's paying all the bills, so it sounds like it's his house.
No,
it's her house.
They kept saying that this is my mama's house.
Yeah.
But he was saying he pays the bill.
Yeah. So, but so I've seen the actual what you're talking about, the generational wealth, what it looks like. So essentially, I have an aunt, right, and they just bought it's a mansion, right? It's a mansion, and so what it is that they're pretty much the whole family. So it's I don't want to get too in detail, but essentially they bought a house where you got 2 kitchens. You know what I mean? So you pretty much, if you have 2 kitchens, you understand it's like a west wing and an east wing. It's a house. And just a big ass house. And so they've come together. They're all working, and they, you know what I mean? They do the home living part together. So now that makes sense. But also what they did was they all left the house, and then together they came together to do this. And so they've established themselves outside of the pacifier or the titty, as old head call it. Okay. And then they then came back and made this decision together to create to build this. So at the end of the day, bro needs to get the fuck out.
No, he needs to contribute.
29 years old, bro.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Johnny. I think it's more about the idea of
he can get out, but when mama died, what's gonna happen to the house? Oh, buddy gonna take it?
I mean, if it's her house,
I ain't even worry about that.
As a parent, or if we talking about generational wealth, would you want your spouse to take half of your shit, or would you want to pass it down to?
So let me ask you this: so what benefit is it for you to pass down something to somebody that don't know nothing about it?
Well, that sounds like a parenting problem.
What good is that?
To me, most of this sounds like a parenting problem.
No, I agree 100%. But we're talking about just this scenario. We're talking about this scenario.
We ain't talking about somebody
right. No, I agree. It still sounds like a parenting problem.
Right, agreed.
Where, again, there should be structures already set in place. With again this 29-year-old kid he's
not a kid, bro. That's a grown ass.
Well, I mean, to me, he's
a grown ass man, but I'm not giving him still a kid though. No, he's a grown ass man, bro. All right, cool. He's 30, bro.
Let me actually like finish out my statement. My point is that given the scenario of what they're saying, he's a dependent, which makes him a kid, and that's what I mean by this 29-year-old kid. But it sounds like that there's some arrested development, there's some babying, there's different shit that should have happened. I think that every case is like case by case basis, but it sounds like there's a lot of parenting between 18 and 29 that went awry. Unless, again, like who knows, he might have just moved back in and he's getting himself together and like that whole scenario as well.
Nigga said, I'm not leaving.
And that again, that's cool. I specifically don't agree with that with his perspective on that.
I know.
But at the same time, like I just don't agree with the kicking the kid out. I think that there's parenting in which he needs to he just needs to eventually mature to get out. But like just kicking him out, to which again, we don't know the scenario, but yeah, I just don't like. I don't believe in putting him in like a full scarcity mindset in which your kid gonna fuck around and be dead, and you're gonna be sad about that shit,
go to jail.
or gonna be in jail, and you're gonna be sad about that shit.
I got two things.
Be a fucking parent.
I got two.
Parenting,
things.
Like matter of fact, hold on,
at 30 is too late to begin.
No, that's cool, but is it too late to parent as well? So I'm gonna just draw back to what you said last week when I was like 18 years. I was talking about baby and like parent to 18 years, but and you put it's much longer than. That's the reality.
Yeah. But the thing is that there's levels to what we were watching and what I wasn't in a good mood, so I kind of let that conversation kind of go. I didn't really make it, push it further. But what I was saying is that at the end of the day, when the way that parenting continues is where, let's say that your kid is about to buy a house and they need a couple quarters to help for the down payment. They've gotten themselves in a situation to where they did the work. So that's an assist. That's an assist. So I believe that along your adulthood, you do assist your children as they continue to figure out this way.
I think it's way more than that.
But if your kid doesn't get to a spot where he needs the assist, whose fault is that?
If he doesn't need an assist?
No, if he gets to a point where he does, like if he gets to the point where he can't even, if your child's not successful and he's just out here in the world struggling, is that the kid's fault, or does that come back to parenting. The information and the parenting that he even had coming up?
And if I'm not mistaken, you do have a perspective that you stand on often, that you say that pretty much a parent can mold their kid to exactly what you want them to be, or as close to what you want them to be.
No. I asked, do you think that can happen? Hey. I didn't stand on.
I've heard you say. I've heard you say pretty much the statement of like we. This is paraphrasing, but it usually is close to the idea of we act like there's this whole little like kids can go either way. A lot of it just comes down to parenting. That's what it kind of.
I do believe that a lot of it comes down to parenting.
All right, then
sure.
So then that 29-year-old is your fault then.
No. I would agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with the parenting joint that you said. Well, go ahead, Johnny.
I got two things. One thing, and I think it's an important thing, is I don't think bro would have said that to his real daddy.
His real daddy probably would have been had him out of there.
Exactly.
That's just his real daddy would have had him out of there a long time ago.
I think that's unfortunate. Well, I think in the right way.
I think that's important when we're talking about this particular aspect.
That is important.
I think because if it's a mom and a dad and they're telling their kid, you need to get out, the kids probably would be more receptive versus it's my mama and some dude I don't really mess with, and I'm gonna leave my mama alone with the. I think if it was his real dad, he wouldn't have necessarily said that. Also, I do. I think that's something you see with, if you look at, like, I ain't necessarily gonna say white people, but like rich people, like wealthy, affluent, like really wealthy people. A lot of them do have fuck ups as children.
They say what that
end up staying.
Fuck ups as children end up being the goddamn president.
And that's the
they'll fuck over $1 whole million
multiple times. Even like Fresh Prince. Think about like Fresh Prince of Bel Air. All the motherfuckers was grown living at the house.
They was in college, wasn't
they? No, they was in high school.
No, Hillary was grown.
Oh, she was grown.
Living at the house. Yeah. Will was in college, living in the house.
Oh, I thought him and Carlton was in high school.
They was in. I think that was a college they was going to. What?
Well, they started but Hillary was grown.
Yeah, Hillary was grown.
Hillary was grown, living at the house.
Yeah.
Real. I guess you want. It sounds like you about to wrap it up. Then we can read down these.
Ironically enough,
these
I have a meme that kind of goes into this. It kind of goes with this.
Gotcha. Let's read down the comments real quick.
Oh yeah, your mom said.
click them up there.
If they don't want to abide by the rules, then they should be escorted out.
Absolutely agreed.
I don't agree.
Yeah. You can't be grown in my house. You ain't grown in my house.
Go to the other two.
You could be grown.
Oh my bad. If they don't want to,
you gotta follow the rules. If
they don't abide by the rules,
then they should be escorted.
I guess I do agree with that.
Yeah. If you don't follow the rules,
you don't respect the guy who paying the bills.
Come on,
man. There like you gonna look at him. Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. So I'm supposed to keep paying for your lights and your showers.
And then she said, "You gonna keep paying for it." What?
See, that's where
I'm paying for the toilet tissue you wipe your tail with.
That's where it would have been an issue for me. I'd have walked out.
It sounded like but it just seemed like it was so many bad little scenarios and situations. What's inside that one thing? I guess go to the other. It looked like it's two more.
Yeah, this
is
just I had clicked on this one a second ago.
You did? Okay. What does it say?
The son don't work or pay any bills. He almost 30 years old. When is he going to learn? At 29, people are married with mortgages.
I'm sure
not in today's time, but like traditionally that is what it is.
I'm sure he works though.
Go to the next one.
Before that, he said, this is why it hurts a man to marry a woman with kids because he has no win. Because most women are going to be with the child. But I know a dude who sides with the wife, even though the wife is dead wrong.